Hello, hello. All right, so I sent you a playlist link, so all you have to do is click on it. So you can pull it up, we'll do it at the same time. This is a stool. You're gonna use one for balance or a high chair back. You can set it all the way for now. I have 2 sets of weights. I have a light and a heavy set. You do you. You decide which ones you want to use. And then if you happen to have a resistance band, grab it. If you don't, do not worry. It is just going to make something that we do a little bit harder, but it isn't 100% necessary by any means, so you can go without one altogether. I have some water in hand as well. And then we're going to do this thing called barre together. We're going to get a little shaky, a little sweaty. So pull up your playlist. It says Winter 19 barre. It's an oldie but a goodie. Make sure it's not on shuffle. Then we're going to do this together in 3, 2, and press play. And then have a seat or come to extended child's pose or lie down, really however you feel best, starting your practice. Make yourself comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. Letting go of your day. Letting go of the cloudy, kind of dreary weather and the chaos that kind of is our world around right now. And for 1 hour, you get to just be as you are, completely selfish. 1 hour all to yourself. Slow down your breath. With the slow breaths, I want you to notice where it is sitting in your body. Can you move it all the way from your chest into your lungs, down into your belly, or does it get stuck somewhere? And oftentimes when we feel stress or tension in our body, our breath sticks. And that is not going to serve you here. So practice those full body inhales and exhales, trying to get air into every last square inch of space that you can. And if you find areas that you just can't seem to open, I want you to be really mindful of those spots as we move. And maybe that's where you take a step back or modify in your practice. Okay. Now, bring your palms upwards towards the sky. This is where you set your intention. And your intention can be anything that you want, something that motivates you, something that inspires you. But maybe today it's sending light, love, that joy out to someone who needs it, because there's a lot of really scary things happening out there. There's a lot of darkness, and it's our job to help spread that light. So you see your intention clearly in your mind. You clear out the air from your lungs, and then you take a deep breath in and fill all the way up. And with gratitude, a great big open mouth exhale to send it out into the universe. Now, slowly begin to move your body. If you are seated, maybe it's a couple twists along your spine or rolls through your neck. If you're in extended child's pose, maybe it's rolling your forehead back and forth across your mat. Wiggling your fingers, your toes, opening and closing your jaw a few times. Now, while most of us have probably been up a good majority of the day, here you're really starting to wake up your body. In a way that maybe is a little more energetic than you've been using it today. I know this will be the most I have moved today. And you'll slowly make your way into a tabletop, although there really is no rush to get there. You can move and stretch along the way, however it feels best to you. You will bring your shoulders over your wrists and lock your knees underneath your hips when you get there. Brush the dog hair off of your mat. It's a never-ending battle in this house. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Push into the ground, but soften your elbows and engage your core. Uddiyana Bandha, navel in and up, ribs together. Keep your core locked throughout the entire class. I say it every single class about 800 times because it's that important. And then dip your belly, lift your gaze, and take a deep breath in. Cow pose. Exhale, carve out your belly to cat pose. Move through these with your breath. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. So you can go faster or slower as you need, but I want you to close your eyes as you move. And I want you to find out which muscles are working for you here, because it's not a passive stretch. You're warming things up. You feel the muscles along your spine, between your shoulder blades. Your lower abdomen as you curl your hip bones up and in. They all work together to find this simple movement in your body. Now come back to a flat back in tabletop. Curl your toes under, lift your knees just an inch from the ground to hover, building heat in your body before you get too much into stretching. Push your body weight forward. Keep your elbows soft, but your shoulders lifted. Extend your neck as long as you can. Your gaze is down, not forward. You're not squeezing the vertebrae. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, set your knees down and walk your hands to the right. Inhale. Exhale, hips to the left. Keep them lifted from your heels while you crawl your fingers forward. Grip the ground and pull your shoulders down your back until you feel a great big stretch in the left side of your torso. If you need more, put your left hand on top of the right. Bring it back to the center and you're hovering tabletop. Again, letting a little heat build, a little bit of discomfort here. It's like you're pushing your mat away from you. It's really easy to hyperextend your elbows when you do that. So keep them slightly bent. You'll feel your triceps, the backside of your arms engage a little further. Resist the urge to point your tailbone up in the air. Keep it straight out behind you. Take one more breath. Exhale your knees to the ground. Walk your hands to the left. Breathe in. Breathe out, hips to the right. Crawl your fingers forward. Grip, pull, and feel the stretch in the big right side of your body. Right hand can go on top of the left if you need a little more sensation. And then you bring it back to the center for one more hovering tabletop. Heels over the ball mounds of your feet. Your lower abdomen fully engaged, feeling that work. Good, take a deep breath in through your nose. Give an open mouth exhale. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. Here for 4, 3, down dog in 2, and lift your hips. Downward dog, give your feet a quick little pedal. Now make sure there's nothing behind you, and then as you take a breath, reach your right toes nice and high. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip, and take some big circles with your knee. Bring those circles the opposite way. Stretch your toes high, close your hip, take a deep breath in. Exhale, low lunge, step forward. Bring your left knee down, lift your right hand high, circle your wrist. Your core is still engaged because that will hold you up. Make a couple circles with your shoulder. And now stretch your right arm up high. Take a deep breath in as you rise, shoulders over hips. Pull back with your right hip, push the left hip forward. Lean forward until you feel the stretch in the front of your left thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, crescent moon, both arms forward and up. Exhale, find a little back bend. Bend your elbows, lift your chest. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand, lean up and over to the right, just slightly creating a little space in the left side of your body. Bring your gaze underneath your left arm. Take one more breath. Let it go. Release your grip. Come to the top. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down. Curl your left toes under. Right foot steps back to a high plank, and here you hold. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Push into your toes. Bring your heels over the ball mounds of your feet. Keep your hip bones up and in. Knees are always an option, but the hip bones stay up and in. Your butt does not stick up behind you. It's not a tabletop. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Good. You're almost there. 4, 3, lift your hips in 2, and hips come high. Inhale, left foot high. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip, and take a few circles here. Reverse the circles, other way. Now stretch your toes high, take a deep breath. Exhale, lunge, step forward and bring the right knee down. Left hand lifts in a twist, circle your wrist. Core is holding you up. There's little to no weight in your bottom hand. Make some circles with your shoulder. Bring it the other way. Now lift your left hand up, hold that twist as you rise. Breathe in. Breathe out as you drop further into your hips. Left hip back, right hip forward. The top of your right thigh starts to stretch and open. Lift your chin. Now inhale, crescent moon, both arms forward and up. Exhale, tiny little back bend here. Pull your belly button upwards. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale to the top. Exhale, grab your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull just a little to the left. Create a little more side body stretch. Pull back with your right shoulder. Look underneath. Good. All right. Now, come back to the top. Release your grip. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, right toes underneath you. Step your left foot back to a plank and hold. Push into the ground. Keep it strong in your body from your heels or knees through the crown of your head. It is one long line. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Keep your gaze towards the top edge of your mat. Let everything build heat. Because planks really work every single muscle in your body. Everything has to work together in unison. Everything needs to communicate with one another in order to hold you strong. That's why this is the perfect warm-up. You got it. Don't give up. All right. You're here for 4, 3, forearm plank in 2. Come down to your forearms. Zip your feet together so they touch and find a tiny little hip dip side to side. Right, left, and left. Your shoulders do not move here. It's just your lower body. Waking up your obliques. Now, if this does not feel good in your body, I want you to just hold your forearm plank solid and steady with your feet hip width distance apart versus taking the movement or trying to do it from your knees. Twisting side to side on your knees is not good for your body. You're going to strain your lower back and you're not building strength in your belly. I would prefer you to just hold your plank versus move in an unhealthy way, okay? Stick with it. You're pushing evenly through your forearms. From your elbow all the way through your palms for 4, 3, 2. All right, now from here you can set your knees down because your whole body's coming to the floor. Belly down, put your hands underneath your shoulders and press the top sides of your feet now into the floor. Lift your chest and find a baby cobra pose. Pull your ribs tightly together, draw your shoulders back. There's little to no weight in your hands. If you lift them up, nothing much will change. Now here we're gonna find a little dynamic movement. Lower your chest back down to the floor. Now lift it up, down, lift, down, and lift. Keep moving. Push so hard into your feet that your knees lift, but your feet never come off of the ground. Resist the urge to push into your hands. They're just there for support. If you want, you can lift your hands to make sure that the muscles in your lower back are doing that lifting for you. Keep your spine as long as you can. Keep your neck as long as you can. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Now hold it up high. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. 4, 3, 2, lower down. Curl your toes under. Push up to a high plank and hold. From your heels through the crown of your head, keep that long line. All you have to do here is hold and breathe. So good. All right. Now, when things get challenging, your brain's reaction tends to be to distract you so that you don't have to feel that discomfort. And while that's a nice thing to do in, the Minnesota Nice sort of way, it does not actually serve you here. I want you to stay present. Allow those sensations into your body, even when they're a little bit uncomfortable. This is how you grow stronger, physically and mentally. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Give a great big open mouth exhale. You're here for 4, 3, 2, and come down to your forearms. You can hold your forearm plank or zip your feet together. Hip dips right, left, right, left. Remember your options. Now just the hips are moving here. Your upper body's super solid. Now I like to interlace my fingers and really get a good grip here. You can also put your palms to the ground if that feels better to you. No matter which option you take, you are pushing into the mat, lifting and rounding your shoulders rather than letting your shoulder blades squeeze together and your chest fall towards the floor. Now, you can keep them really tiny, or if you'd rather, you can start to make bigger movements to get deeper into your obliques. It's up to you. 4, 3, final 2. One more time through. And from here, it's all the way down to your belly, knees first. Then belly comes down, hands into your shoulders, push into your toenails, cobra lifts, chest comes up and lowers down. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Make sure that your core is engaged. You don't want to smush your liver on the way down. When you lift, remember, it's not pushing the ground with your hands. That would be cheating. We don't cheat here, right? Just the back, the core muscles lifting. The harder you squeeze your glutes, generally the higher lift you're going to get. So try it. Squeeze your butt cheeks hard as you can. Keep your shoulders pulling together behind you. Do not let those feet lift. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Now hold it up nice and high. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. You have the option here to extend your arms forward if you want it to get a little bit harder. Keep your neck long though. Resist the urge to look up too far where you're crunching in your neck. 4, 3, final 2, and slowly lower. One more time through. Curl your toes under. Push up to your plank and hold. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. You got it. Hold and breathe. That is it. This is where you get to use your grit, your determination. Coming back to your intention. Can you send a little light and love out even when you're working this hard? Yes, you can. Feel that breath run through your body. Full body inhale, meaning your chest fills, your upper back starts to rise, your lungs expand, meaning your ribs expand. Maybe you get it all the way down into your belly and it starts to push out. And then it pulls back in and your ribs draw in and your chest draws in and up. That full body inhale and exhale keeps you going. It's a lot of words just to distract you and get you to focus on something other than the burning in your abs. Distraction, focusing on breath is okay because then you're still present. You're still here in this space for 4, 3, 2, hip dips, come on down to your forearms. Here you go, right and left. Make them as deep as you want to go, as long as the shoulders don't move. Lift out of your shoulder sockets, push into the ground. Where is your gaze? This is 8, 7, 6, and 5. You're so close. 4, 3, final 2. One more time, side to side. All right, knees come down, bellies come down, cobra lifts. Last time, here you go. Up and lower, up and lower. Maybe your hands lift this time if they didn't before. Maybe you want to extend your arms forward, making it that much harder. Wherever you are, you keep your feet connected to the ground this time through. Breathe. It can be really easy to hold your breath when you're working on your belly. I promise you still need oxygen. It's very important. It will keep you going. You got it. 4, 3, hold it high into. All right, keep it lifted. Pushing it harder into your toenails. Your kneecaps lift and your quadriceps, top of your thigh muscles. You're going to feel them engage when you do that. And then you push into your hip bones as hard as you can by squeezing your butt cheeks as hard as you can. You pull your ribs towards one another, but your collarbones pull apart as you lift a little bit higher. Take a full body inhale. Take a full body exhale. Good. 4, 3, final 2. Lower down, give your hips a little shake side to side. Maybe you want to push back to puppy dog pose for a second. Get a stretch underneath your arms. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. Now, we're going to stand up, and I want you to bring a set of weights with you. I'm going to let you choose whatever feels better to you. I'm using my heavier set, my 5-pound weights. You can use lighter ones. You could even go heavier. You could go without weights altogether. It's up to you. But your core is really warm now. I want you to keep it warm by keeping everything engaged. Step your feet about hip-width distance apart. Squeeze the muscles in your thighs. Tiny little bends to your knees. It's almost like you have a little bounce there versus hyperextending, which is awful for your joints and your blood flow. Then you bring your arms long in front of you, palms face forward. Naturally, your shoulders round forward. So now pull them back and keep your chest lifted. You have 4 bicep curls to start. Here you go, all the way up to your shoulders, thighs, shoulders, and thighs. 2 more. Keep your elbows tight at your sides, just your forearm moves. And now come to 90 degrees, a halfway point, and it's a pulse. 4, 3, 2. All right, now you hold at 90 and you circle out. 2, 3, and 4. Now circle in. 2. It's small. 1 more. All right, and now we do that whole thing again. Bring the weights down. Now you curl up. 2, 3, and 4. Now you pulse. 2, 3, and 4. Circle out. 2, 3, 4. Circle in. 2, 3, and 4. Again, curl. Keep your elbows tight at your sides. You squeeze your bicep as hard as you can. Upper arm does not move. 1 more curl. Now come to 90 and you pulse. 2, 3, 4. Now circle. 2, 3, 4. Reverse. 2, 3, 4. Again, curl. 2, 3. Are your knees still bent? I hope so. Now from here you pulse. 2, 3, 4. Circle out. 2, 3, 4. Circle in. 2, 3, and 4. Now pause. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Bring the weights out to the sides and squeeze them center. Out, in, out, and in. Again, upper arm does not move. Elbows are zipped to your sides. Collarbones open. Shoulders squeeze together. If you simply swing those weights back, it's not going to do much. You have to squeeze and then find resistance on the way in. Push the weight heads together. You're here for 4, 3. Keep them out in 2. All right, now here you keep them out. Now you pulse behind you. So you squeeze your elbows towards one another behind your back. Make sure your wrists are staying straight with your forearm. Palms face up. Tiny little squeezes. Look, your joy is making these things happen. The sun is coming out. That's amazing. Keep squeezing. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold them out. Lift them up an inch. Push them out an inch. Do it again. Up an inch, out an inch, up an inch, out an inch, and hold. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Full body inhale. Full body exhale here for 4, 3, final 2. All right, bring your elbows in. Flip your palms forward. So now it's almost like a W shape with your body. You push it all the way up overhead to a shoulder press. And then a lat pull down. You pull your elbows. You drag as hard as you can. Here we go. Push, pull, push, pull. You're waking up everything in your upper body with these full range movements. Only 4, 3, stay low, in 2. 1 more big push here. All right, now it's 3 counts to the top and 1 quick pull down. And those really slow movements are going to get into your stabilizers. Make sure your knees are still a little soft. Here we go. Now you lift. 2, 3, pull them down. Again, up, 2, 3, pull, lift, 2, 3, and down. Again, push, push, all the way up. Squeeze it down. Push, 2, 3, pull down and hold. Now we reverse it. 1 count up, 3 counts to actively pull it down. Here you go. Now lift, lower, 2, 3. Again, lift, pull, pull, and pull. Again, up, 2, 3, 4, lift, 2, 3. 1 last time, push it up, then drag it down, nice and slow. Full range, lift, lower, lift, lower. Deep breath in, full breath out. Now come to 90 degrees, and hold. Wrists over elbows. Take a deep breath in, take a full breath out and pulse. push your elbows just above 90 degrees. Wrists stay over your elbows. Tiny, tiny pushes. Your core is engaged. Your belly is working hard to keep your pelvis underneath your shoulders. That is important. Don't give up. Here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. All you have to do is hold, and then you get to set the weights down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. So good. 4, 3, 2, bring it down. Set your weights out of the way. You did great. All right. I do recommend your stool for balance. You can have it handy. You can push it out of the way. You can decide you don't want to use it at all, and that's great too. If you are using it, just a little bit closer. You can stand however is most comfortable to you. Left side, though, facing your balancing apparatus if you're using it. And then zip your feet together. Pivot your toes apart. And this is called first position. It looks like a small V with your feet. Bend your knees. Look down. Your knees should be in line over your toes, not in, not behind. And your tailbone is down, not out behind you. No tilting forward. That's very important. Shoulders over hips. All right. You can bring your hands to your hips, or you can bring your arms up nice and high to make your shoulders really tired. Just make sure your elbow is lifted, not drooping down. Now from here, bend your knees. Keep your pelvis scooped. It's like you're sliding down a wall. And now squeeze your thighs towards each other to stand back up. That's called demi-plie. We do 4. Down, squeeze to the top, down, squeeze to the top. 2 more. Last time. Now come down into your demi-plie and pulse for 4. It's 4, 3, 2, hold it low. Now you have 2 options here. You lengthen your legs, your heels pop up, toes connected, and back down. Or you can actually add a little hop. Either one works. We have 4 of them. Ready? Here we go. It's 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now lift, lower, lift, and lower. Keep your chest up. Good. You have 1 more. Now, from here, you get down low and you pulse. 2, 3, 4. Add the hop. 2, 3, 4. Again, down, lift, down, lift. You squeeze your thighs. Make it as active as you can. Good. Now you pulse. 2, 3, 4, and hop. 2, 3, and 4. Last time. Down, lift, down, and lift. Chin up. Neck nice and long. Good. Now you pulse. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Now you add that heel pop. Lift, 2, 3, and 4. Great. Now stand up. Arms out in front of you. Elbows lifted high. It's like you're making a big circle with your arms. Demi-plie. Bend your knees. Now your right foot steps out. Your arms open wide. Grand plie. That means a big bend. Get as low as you can without sticking your butt out behind you. Come back to first position. Stand up. Right heel comes in. Bend your knees. Stand up. Step out. Arms open. Center. Step out. Center. Step out. First position. Second. First. And second. You have 2 more. You got it. And this one, you're going to hold it out in that second position. Get low in your hips and find a pulse. Make sure your toes are in front of your knees. Press your knees back behind you. That will create more space to keep your pelvis tucked underneath. Stay low in your hips. That pulse is very, very small. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen your spine. Take a full breath out. Get even lower in your hips. Good. Here for 4, 3. Stay low in 2. All right. Now, stay low. Lift your chest. Drop an inch lower in your hips. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Squeeze the muscles in your thighs straight down to your femur. Not physically with your hands. You're clenching your muscles. Good. 4, 3, 2. Stand up. All right. Now, grand plie in second. 4 counts down, 4 counts up. It's nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Here we go. Down, 2, 3, and 4. Now you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Again, option for arms. 2, 3, and 4, and you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Again, bring it down. Remember, it's like your back is sliding down a wall. You're at the bottom, now lift. Push into your heels as hard as you can. You're at the top. One more, down. 2, 3, and 4, and you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Get down low, as low as you can, and add the pulse again. Tiny little squeeze right at the bottom. Knees press back. You lift the arches of your feet. Lift your chest. Drop your shoulders. Good. You got it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Full range of motion. Down, lift, down, and lift. Chin is high. Elbows lifted. Good. Think of this one almost like an active stretch. You feel pretty good after those little pulses and slow movements. Just one more time. All right, now stand all the way back up. Bring your right foot in. First position in your feet. Left hand can be on the chair if that helps you for balance. Grand plie in first. Grand plie in first. You bend your knees and you get as low to the ground as you can without leaning forward, butt sticking up. That may mean you only come down halfway. That's totally fine. Know that at your lowest point, your heels will probably lift. On the way back up, you push your heels back down into the ground. You'll keep them lifted. Deal? Deal. It's 8 counts down, 8 counts up. Please, I hope we are still friends after this. Let's do it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Down. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, slower, 7, and 8. Now you lift. 2, 3, and 4, heels down. 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you lift. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Heel lifts. Just the heels lift and lower. Hand can be on your stool for support if you like it. Straight up and down. Hip bones up and in. Good. Now, you might start to feel the muscles in your ankles and your feet get a little achy. That's good, but not if it feels like it's not stable. When you come up, if your heels start moving around a lot, you're going too high. Please don't go that high. I'd rather be stable in your body. You're not here much longer. Here's 4, 3, 2. Last one. Okay, heels down. Take a breath. Let it go. You can switch your stool to the other side if you're using it for balance, or flip around, whatever is easiest for you, or go without. We're doing the same thing, but now we're adding on to the other side. First position in your feet, hip bones up and in. It starts with that demi-plie 4 times. Ready? Great. Here we go. Down, lift, down, and lift. Knees press back. Spine is long. Now 4 pulses. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4 heel pops. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Again, demi-plie, stand, demi, and stand. Find resistance. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You make this work as hard as you can. Now you pulse. 2, 3, 4, and you pop. 2, 3, 4. Again, demi, lift, demi, lift. Squeeze your glutes hard as you can. Tailbone to the ground. Good. Now you pulse. 2, 3, 4, and you pop. 2, 3, and 4. Last time. Down, lift, down, lift. Good. You got it. Now you pulse. 2, 3, and 4, and you hop. 2, 3, and 4. Stand all the way up. Bring your arms up, elbows lifted, demi-plie. Stand, left foot steps out, all the way out, grand plie. Knees press back, arches lift, chest is open. Bring it all the way back to the top. First position, arms closed. Second, arms open. First, second, first, and second. You got it. Your spine is as long as you can make it. So, so strong. Don't give up. All right, now hold out in second and you pulse. Little squeezes right at the bottom. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Good. Now your elbows really want to droop down, especially if they've been lifted for a long time. Keep it strong in your upper body. Almost there. 4, 3, 2. Now hold it low. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open up, exhales, release a little bit of heat. Get an inch lower. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, we'll stand all the way up. It's down for 4, up for 4. Are you ready? Perfect. Bring it down. 2, 3, and 4. Now you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Again, down. 2, 3, and 4. Lift. 2, 3, and 4. Down. Keep your chin lifted. Keep your head nice and high. Push through your heels as you come to stand. Squeeze your thighs. Last time. Down. 2, 3, and 4. Lift. 2, 3, and 4. Get down low as you can, and pulse. Those little squeezes right at the bottom. Thigh muscle squeeze. Glutes are squeezing. Everything working hard. You push and push. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Perfect. 4, 3, 2. Full range of motion. Here you go. It's down and lift and down and lift. Now, even though it's an active stretch, I still want you to squeeze. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Last one, last one. Nice job. All right, step your left foot in. Right hand can be on the stool for balance. First position, heels in, toes out, pelvis tucked. 8 counts to the bottom, 8 counts to the top. It's excruciatingly slow and wonderful for your body. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. You're at the bottom. Now you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Heels down. 5, 6. Slower. 7. You're at the top. Again, down. 2, 3, and 4. It's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now it's 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. You're at the top. Just the heels lift. Up and down, up and down. You can use that chair for support. Maybe your arms come overhead if you want to test your balance, but make sure your ankles are staying strong. Deep breath in. And a slow breath out. To remember, it might not be the highest point on your feet, and that's okay. You want the muscles to do the work, not strain tendons and ligaments. 4, 3, 2. All right. Now, you can actually be done with your stool. I am saving a little extra time for the floor today, because we're going to do some butt and hip intensive work, but I find that it's better to do it on the floor, especially when we don't have that full bar to hold on to for support. So come on down to the floor. And then if you have that resistance band, here's where you're going to want to use it. Take your lighter set of weights if you have them and set them on either side of your mat. You're going to use those as an option. You don't necessarily have to. There'll be an option for it. If you're utilizing your band, slip it over your legs, bring it above your knees, but be careful of how low it is. I don't want it pressing on the tendons right behind your knees. So just a little bit above that. And when we move, if it slips at any point, please stop and adjust it. Now here you're coming all the way down to your back, all the way down. Tuck your hip bones up and in. Feet are parallel, hip width distance apart. And if you have the band, your knees are going to want to come in and make you knock knee. So your job is to keep the knees hip width distance apart. If you don't have a band, it's completely okay. You don't need one. It just makes the work harder. That's all. Press your palms to the floor. Engage your core. Navel pulls down towards your spine. And now it's a glute bridge. So lift your hips up and lower. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Drive through your heels. Squeeze, 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 hard as you get. It's not simply moving your hip bones, it's squeezing to the top. This is 3 and 2. And here you hold it up nice and high, find a pulse, it'll squeeze. Now, here you might start to feel the knees wanting to pull in, push them out. They don't need to go way out, but you want them in line with your hips, not closer together. Little squeezes, 4, 3, full range in 2. Full range of motion, here you go. Bring it down, lift, down, and lift. Try to relax your upper body. That tension likes to build in your neck, and it's your job to breathe through it. 5, 4, 3, and 2. And this one, you hold it high, and you pulse. That same little squeeze. Push, push. You got it. You are so, so strong. All right, full range. Ready? Down, lift, down, and lift. Only 8, 7, 6, and 5. Last 4, and 3. Hold it high in 2. Hold it high, press your knees out, find your pulse. So, so strong. My butt feels like it's gonna fall off. That means it's working. I hope yours does too. Not that it falls off, just that it works. 4, 3, 2, hold it up, lift your heels. Now set the heels down. Heels lift, lower, lift, lower. So now you're isolating. Your whole body is not moving up and down. But that tiny little change of lifting the heels up and down is going to activate even more stabilizers in your legs and in your glutes. Keep your hip bones high. Keep your core fully engaged. 4, 3, 2. One more. All right. Bring your hips down. Roll onto your right side. Put your arm underneath your head, or you can put your hand underneath your head, whatever feels better. Now you are going to go knock knee. Bring the left heel up towards the sky. So now the top of your left thigh is touching your right inner thigh. Flex your left foot and lift it up from the thigh and lower. Make sure it stays turned in and not that it's flipping out. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. And again, you can absolutely do this without the band. You'll probably just have a much larger range of motion. Make sure that the knee is staying bent and that you're not kicking it out. You got to really fight to keep that hip turned in. We are targeting this little spot right underneath your butt cheek. It's a hard spot to reach. That's why I love this exercise. And this is one that you can come back to. I'll find myself doing it like when I'm watching a show on Netflix or something, right? So I don't feel so entirely lazy. And these band work for glutes and hips, it's great to do while you're watching TV. So you can always do more later if you need it. All right, this is 4, 3, final 2. Hold it up, you gotta pulse it. It's barre class, we have to pulse everything. That's just the rule. Keep it turned in. It's a tiny little squeeze. And remember, if you're not using the band, your leg's probably up just a little bit higher. I want you to be at a high point that you can really feel the work in that squeeze. Push and push. Only 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up, take a breath. Slowly bring it down. Our inner thighs can connect here. Keep the foot flexed. This time, the hip is not turned in. It's in its neutral position, and you lift it up and lower, lift and lower. So now you're kind of working your way around the hip here, right? So you did the meaty part of your glute, you did the underside of your glute, now you're getting the outside. Try to lift the knee and the foot in the same plane versus knee lifting, because that's going to do something else, okay? So your entire leg lifts and lowers. If you were to put a hand on your belly, you should feel your obliques, the sides of your torso, working really hard here. Deep breath in, full breath out. Good. 4, 3, 2. You guessed it, you have to pulse it. Bring it to the top, tiny little squeezes. Make that pulse come from within your hip, not the foot or the knee. It wants to do wonky things here. You are just using your hip and your glute. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that side is done. Roll onto your back. Nice job. Feet hip width distance apart. Grab your light weights here, light weights, or no weights at all. Feet are hip width distance apart. Remember, band or no band doesn't really matter. Bring the weights all the way overhead. And then when you do that, make sure that your lower back is not arching off of the mat. You push it down. From here, you roll up until the weights are pushing forward. Roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Weights overhead. Roll up, the weights push forward, roll down, weights overhead. Keep moving, keep breathing. It's a slower movement. It's not big because you are not using any momentum here. You are using pure strength within your core. Roll down one vertebrae at a time, roll up. At the top, you have a C curve in your spine. Your shoulders are forward, your pelvis is tucked. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower to release a little bit of tension. You got it. So, so good. You have one more roll, all the way up, all the way down. And now bring the weights forward. You're lying on your back, weights are coming forward. Lift your shoulders, just your shoulders. Now it's a little penguin tap from side to side. The right hand reaches towards the right ankle, reaches towards it, doesn't need to touch. And left, right, left, right, left. You can walk your heels in if it feels more stable. You can set the weights down if it doesn't feel good. It should feel a little uncomfortable, but not painful. Your hips and your legs don't shift from side to side. It is just your upper body. Pull your belly button down towards the ground. Lift a little bit higher as you sway from side to side. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Set the weights down. Bring your shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out, roll on to your left side, and I am simply going to flip around. All right. Now, take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Bring the right knee down and in. Find that knock-knee position, and you lift and lower, lift and lower. Get under your right butt cheek. Your hand can be here for support. You can lie on down, whatever feels best. But I don't want your hips to be shifting front to back. The right hip should more or less just stay stacked. Words are getting hard. That means that my muscles are working very hard and making it hard to use my brain at the same time. Drive the heel up. Keep that hip turned in. You got it. Don't give up. We are really close. I just had to cut something out because I realized how close we are on time. This happens so often in this class. It goes by so quickly, which I think is, I hope is a good thing. But now when I want to get so many things in that we don't have time for. Drive the heel up. Squeeze your right glute. Don't forget to breathe. Top of your right thigh is facing the left inner thigh. Keep it turned in. Almost there. You have 4 more big squeezes. It's 4, 3, 2, All right, you gotta pulse it. Hold it up. Find that tiny little squeeze. This side feels way harder. Is that way harder for you? Everything about it feels harder to me. My leg doesn't want to stay turned in. I can't squeeze it. This is how it goes, right? The second side is always so much worse. And I'm telling you this not to complain, but just so you know, it's just as hard for me. Keep breathing, keep squeezing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's it, bring it down. All right, that was misleading. I meant that's it with that one, right? We gotta do the other thing. Flex your right foot, now your legs are in a neutral position, and you lift that whole right leg up from within your hip, and lower. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. So now as you move, remember your whole leg is moving as one. If you don't have the band, and I can show you real quick, again, you probably just have a bigger range of motion, but you still wanna make sure that the knee is bent and you're moving your whole leg versus just the foot staying in here, because that's really easy to do. Keep your right foot flexed. That's gonna help those muscles stay engaged. Right obliques working hard, that's the idea. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. If you're using that band, you are pushing like you're trying to rip it apart. Here's 4, 3, 2. Here you pulse, here you pulse. You hold it up and you find that little squeeze right at the top that makes it feel like your whole leg's gonna break off. Now there's a huge difference between working really hard and pushing those stabilizing muscles a little harder and getting a Charlie horse. Okay, don't push it into Charlie horse depth. That's no good for anybody. All right, we're almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice job. All right, roll onto your back, roll onto your back. Grab your weights if you're using them. Curl your hip bones up and in, feet are hip width distance apart. You roll your shoulders off the ground. Keep your chin tucked in here. Just find a little pulse forward. So you're pushing the weights forward, lifting a little more of your upper body from your mat, but not much, it's small. And then here you say hello to your upper abdomen. Push and push. And of course you can choose not to use weights, and then your fingertips are just drawing forward. Stick with it, maybe lift a little bit higher. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring the shoulders down. Bring the weights all the way overhead once more. Pelvis is tucked. Full range of motion, just like we did before. Roll all the way up. Weights come forward. Roll all the way down. Weights overhead. Roll to the top. And roll on down. It's slow and controlled. You get a tiny little quiver as you push past the point of comfort. And that is the idea, right? You build so much tension. You're moving slow that the muscles have to really push through, stabilize, and hold you so that you don't drop back to the floor. Whereas when you're using momentum, you don't really get that same little squeeze, that same push. Roll all the way up. Roll all the way down. This one is 4. And 3. Final 2. Do it one more time, just like that. Come back down, lower back flat on the floor, weights push forward, just the shoulders lift and you pulse. Walk your heels in a little if you need so that they are not lifting off of the ground, feet stay planted, push and push. Can you feel your triceps working here to hold those weights up? I hope so. Deep breath in, slow breath out. 4, 3, 2, here's the penguins. Keep your shoulders lifted, right, left, right, left. This is your last push. We're stretching after this, so do not give up. Hips and legs are solid, they're not moving. Belly button to the floor, chin is tucked. Yes, you can. 8, 7, 6, and 5, last 4, and 3, only 2. So good. Set the weights down. Bring your shoulders down, tuck your knees into your chest and slide the band off if you have it. Throw it to the side ceremoniously, and then rock a little side to side. That releasing your lower back, and bring your knees a little wider than your torso. Just feel a gentle little stretch or opening. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Nice job. All right, grab your hamstrings, rock up and down the length of your spine. Do it a few times. Now you do get to use momentum. And when you come to the top, you cross your ankles, plant your palms, step back into tabletop. And from here, take modified upward facing dog. Bring your chest forward. Bend your elbows and push into your fingertips to lift your chest. Let's stretch an opening in through your belly. Whole front line of your body as you draw your shoulders back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good job. All right, puppy dog pose. Chest down, hips high. Walk your fingers forward, grip the ground, pull your shoulders down your back, and feel like you're a good stretch underneath your arms. Give your tail a little wag from side to side. All right, little forward and through, and have a seat with your legs long in front of you. Flex your toes. Pull the meat out from under your seat. Bring your arms overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out as you hinge forward into your forward fold. Knees can be a little bent. You can hold your feet and pull back on them, really whatever you like, as long as you're keeping your back flat instead of rounding. Rounding doesn't really give you much stretch. When you flatten your back, suddenly the back line of your legs opens, your lower back releases, your shoulders start to stretch, everything starts to work. Good. Take one more breath here. And come all the way to the top. Walk your legs open as much as it feels good to you without tucking your pelvis. So much of class is I'm telling you to tuck your pelvis, and now I'm saying don't tuck your pelvis. But I want you to roll forward on your pelvis, on your sit bones, almost like you were trying to stick your tailbone out behind you. And that might mean you have to bend your knees. It might mean you walk the legs in just a little bit, but I want you to stay forward like that. So it's almost like you're pulling up and in with your lower back so that you're not slouching and rounding, because this is really bad for your back and kind of makes the stretch pointless, okay? So adjust as you need. You could even put stuff underneath your knees if it feels better. Now, sitting up tall, if you feel the stretch around your hips, stay. If you want more, one hand at a time, you walk it forward. And each time you bring a hand forward, you kind of grip and pull so that you're constantly pulling yourself forward off of your sit bones, resisting the urge to round them underneath you. And again, that's really important because now not just your hips are stretching, but now your entire spine gets to stretch along with it. Keep your feet in a flexed position. Enjoy that little stretch through your Achilles and your calf as well. And if this is not the most comfortable stretch for you, close your eyes and I want you to feel the movement within it. Because sometimes when we think of holding something, like it's a static stretch, something that we are stuck in, that's when our brain starts to say, oh, fidget, move, get out of this. We hate it, right? So think of this as constant motion within your body. Inhales, you're lengthening your spine. You're creating space between each vertebrae. You're rolling forward on your pelvis. Each exhale, you're gripping and pulling with your hands. You're coming closer towards the ground, even if it's a millimeter. That constant motion, constant evolution, constant change in your body is what's important here. Take one more breath. And walk it back to the top. Right hand towards right toes, left arm high, breathe in. Breathe out as you fold over to the right. Draw your left shoulder back so that your chest remains open. Bring your gaze underneath your left arm, and just like at the beginning of our practice, you're creating space between your hip bone and your rib cage. And slowly, gently bring it back to the top. Try it on the other side, right arm high, breathe in. Breathe out as you fold over to the left. Draw your right shoulder back, look underneath, creating that space on the right side. Very gently, very slow, come back to the top. Bend your knees, bring your feet in, and sit cross-legged. Bend a twist in your spine, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, and sit up tall. Take a breath. Exhale as you begin to twist from your lower back, very slowly, very gently working your way up. Once again, with that idea that it's not a static hold at any point in time, you're constantly evolving in it. Lift your chin, reach the crown of your head higher, and then very slowly unwind. You'll try it on the other side. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Sit up tall, breathe in. Breathe out as you begin your twist from the base, working your way up. Bring it into your neck, bring your chin around, sit a little taller, maybe push into your fingertips. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, you slowly unwind. Bring your knees up. Grab your hamstrings one more time so that you can roll down to the mat with control. Bring your knees with you. Rock a little side to side. Get a release in your lower back. You want to give it a big squeeze, absolutely do so. And then arrange your body on the floor for Shavasana, however it feels best to you. Spreading out, taking up space. Maybe you decide you want to curl up in the fetal position. Maybe you need pillows and props. But take a moment to make yourself really, truly comfortable here. So that for, even if it's just a minute, you have a minute of pure joy, pure comfort. That moment where you start to feel weightless as everything just melts away. And that is something that you have earned. So give yourself at least one full minute here. Ernest Hemingway wrote, "When spring came, even the false spring, there were no problems except where to be happiest. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. And if you could keep from making engagements, each day had no limits. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself." I 100% agree with what he said here. I think oftentimes we surround ourselves with people because we feel an obligation to do so. And something that I have seen so clearly during the pandemic is that there's something to be said for saying no and for taking space for yourself. And that so many things can be so joyful and wonderful all by yourself. So continue to spread your light in those dark places. Share your joy with others, but be mindful of who you share it with, and only choose those people who are as good as spring itself. And thank you, my friends, for you who give me that same joy. Namaste.